Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
And welcome back to Bishop Stadium here in Clyde. It's Clyde and Brookside. It's Division IV, Region 14. Playoff action here tonight on the Wolf. John Cullen along with Mike Martin and Brad Bannister. Brad, I tell you what, the Cardinals that come in here at 1-5, they have white uniforms on tonight with black helmets with some red trims, red numerals. Should be pretty good picking those up. Clyde tonight is in their all yellows and their white numerals lined up in yellow gold with some blue trim. It looks to me like the Clyde Fliers right now, Brad, look like they've got a good head of steam and getting ready to get on the field.
Yes, they do. They do their traditional come out, throw their individual players up on the pile, and they're ready to go, John, tonight.
All right, so Dylan Overmeyer, the first one through. Excuse me, not Dylan Overmeyer. That was John Miller Perry. John Miller Perry, a freshman. I tell you what, I was talking to his dad before the game. I said, I don't know where that kid came from, but he's showing up this year.
Yeah, he's done a great job. We've called his name quite a few times, especially last week. And one thing that Clyde did, they sent a lot of pressure with John Miller Perry coming up the middle. And that put a lot of pressure on Keegan Ray and was not able to do the things that he normally does.
Well, you had Walker Britt. You know, you also had Blue Norman, and you've got Dylan Overmeyer in the middle of that defense. And so when you get that fourth guy, they can't double team everybody, right? And so when you get that fourth guy coming in, good things can happen, and that's what happened. So Clyde will be kicking off here tonight. And it will be McCoy Dickman, a junior, who will be kicking off. Clyde really does not kick the ball deep. They generally kind of squib it. Did you notice the other day when the Browns were playing that they just laid the ball on the ground and just kicked it?
Yeah.
Halfway. It actually worked out pretty well. So, but he will tee it up a little bit, and they'll get ready to kick this one off. So Brookside, the Cardinals, will get the ball to start the football game, and we are so glad you're with us here tonight. There's a whistle, and we are just about underway. And there's a kick, and it's going to be end over end. Fielded at the 25 to the 30, getting up the middle, getting hit and dropped right about the 34-yard line. Brookside with a good field position at the 34 to start this game. They'll be moving right to left as you hear it on your radio dial.
Yeah, that's one thing, John, that a lot of times Clyde is constantly giving the other team good field position on just the way they're kicking the ball. And, you know, it's not hitting the ground. They're basically kicking it to one of the up backs, and they're able to field that and get decent field position.
All right, our first chance to see this offense. This Clyde defense has improved as the year has gone by, as proven with their game last week against Bellevue. Looks like their quarterback is Jake Montgomery, number 7. He is a 6-foot, 170-pound senior. First snap, he's back to throw. He's looking. He's throwing the seam pattern down the right side, and it's going to be incomplete. Good coverage on the backside by the Flyers, Mike.
Yeah, that was. Jaden Johnson did a nice job. He just kind of had a hand on him. I believe that the receiver did go out of bounds. The official threw his hat down where he went out of bounds. And now the receiver, no, it's actually the center that's going to pick up the ball because the officials don't touch the ball.
Correct.
So the center has to run all the way down the field about 25 yards to pick the ball up and run back to the huddle.
You think somebody would help him out with that?
Well, you would think. Not one of the Clyde players, though.
No. All right. So getting ready for the next snap. So it's 2nd down and 10, moving right to left. Here comes a man in motion. They're going to quarterback option to the right side. There's going to be a gain of a few. Tackled across the 35-yard line on the right side. A gain of maybe 2.
Yeah, Andrew Bauer came up from his safety spot and just kind of grabbed on a little bit and was able to pull him down relatively easy. That wasn't a good solid tackle. That was kind of like an arm tackle. But running back went down relatively easy.
So he got across the 35, we'll say to the 36, a pickup of 2. It'll be 3rd down and now 8 along 7. We got one receiver to the near side, but we got 3 stacked on the right side. Montgomery looking to get the ball. And Clyde showing blitz, and here they come. He's looking to throw. He's going to throw it out here. Another seam pattern. It's going to be caught. And their number 1 receiver, one-on-one, guarded by a linebacker, and that was Kenny Grabalczyk.
Yeah, Jaron Bolger was about a half a step behind, and that pass was pretty much on target. And like you said, number 11, he's the man that they usually go to, not only in the passing game, but also with the running game.
So Grabowsek gets the first down, Mike, and I tell you what, just first look at Jake Montgomery. That ball is a little fluttering out there.
A little bit.
We'll see if Clyde can play some good defense. We're going to keep an eye on 11. So now we've got 3 receivers stacked again on the far side, and Montgomery at quarterback, and we're going to have a penalty flag. It's going to be delay of game. So it'll be our first penalty of the ball game. They'll move the ball back to the Clyde 43. It'll be first down and 15 in Clyde territory.
You know, one thing that Clyde's doing right now, they line up in a straight 4-4, 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and John Miller Perry comes up right in the middle like the nose guard, so it's kind of like a 5-3 look.
Right.
And sometimes he'll back off, but most of the time, like last week as well as in this week, they've got him coming, so it's like a tough 5-man front with a rushing middle guard.
How is it to have a freshman play in the middle of that defense?
That's pretty
Showing
solid.
blitz right now. Here comes a man in motion in the near side. And they're going to quarterback keep off the right side. Nowhere to go. Actually, they'll give it to Grabowsek. They're going to call him Grobelsek is what they'll call him. So we'll mimic them here tonight. And he's going to move the ball to the 43. It's just a gain of 1.
That was Dylan Overmeyer on that tackle. Dylan Overmeyer on the year has 64.5 tackles on the season. So, you know, he is the mainstay. He's leading the Flyers in tackles right now.
So Grobelsek is their main target offensively. Now he is in the Wildcat himself. They're going to bring 3 here to the near side, stacked in tight. Grobelsek is looking for the snap. It's low. He's rolling to the right. He's rolling. He's going to have to get rid of it. He finally does, and it is incomplete. That time, perfect coverage by the Clyde defensive backs. And no gain on that play. They'll make it third down, and we'll say about 14. And the ball's at the 42-yard line. 10:09 to go here in the first quarter of play.
Yeah, nice job of Robbie Greenslade putting a lot of pressure on, making him run. If he would have held up at all, if he would have tried to turn those shoulders, Robbie Greenslade was right there to put him down.
You know, Greenslade playing a defensive end, he's like a hybrid defensive end, really. And he's quick enough with his feet that he really has caused some containment issues for offenses that are trying to trap him down, Mike. And he's done a good job on that. Now they're going to send 3 receivers out to the right again. Again, a triangle stack formation. Quickly, Grobelsek looking. He's being flushed out of the pocket. He's going to throw it over here. It's going to be caught and right at the line of scrimmage. That'd be for no gain. Who was on pursuit there for Clyde?
That's Walker Britt.
Yeah, Walker Britt was on Grobelsek, and we had Dylan Overmeyer out there on coverage.
Now, I had heard that Walker Britt was just a little banged up coming into this game, so it's good to see him on the field. It's going to be 4th down, and we'll go down to Brad Bannister right after this play so he can size up these teams in reference to speed and size. You know, last time they went to 11. Let's see what they do again. Looks like he's on man coverage on the right-hand side. He's throwing the ball. He's throwing it deep, and it's going to be overshot and no way to go. He actually took the snap and threw it, and they will turn it over on downs. So it's going to be a 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 possession drive for Brookside to open up the ball game. They will turn it over to Clyde, and Clyde will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Yeah, nice coverage by Brady Wilson. Right now, Brady Wilson has 3 interceptions on the year, and if that would have been a little bit shorter, that would have been number 4 for him.
Let's go down to Brad, brought to you by Fricker. So, Brad, what's your summation of the 2 teams as you watched them match up here early?
Right now, Brookside's offensive line is no matchup for Clyde. Clyde is absolutely dominating the front of that line right now.
So look who's in at quarterback right now. Jaden Cook, who had been hurt, is back in at quarterback to start this game. He's going to take the snap. He's looking to throw. He's got Wilson wide open, and Wilson's going to catch it. He has to go down to catch it. A little underthrown, but down to the 28. If Cook, we're not quite sure, hits his first pass in weeks, and he's a little sore in that upper body. But Brady Wilson was so open.
Yeah, he had Wilson had Ryan Scott from Brookside by about, I'd say, at least 3 strides.
All right, what are we going to have here?
I think they...
Oh, they want to make sure the chains are in place.
No, they put the beanbag in the wrong spot.
All right, yeah, they are going to move it up. There it is. All right, so first play of the ball game is a big one for Clyde. They're right now 1st and 10 at the 29. And Cook at quarterback. So that's a good sight for the Flyers, I'm sure. And Clyde's got one in motion. That's Caden Berger. And they're going to hand off, and we're going to have a penalty here for the first part of the game. There's going to be a handoff up the middle, off the right tackle, getting inside the 20, getting into the Fremont floor covering red zone, but we have a penalty flag on the far side. Generally, that is offsides, unless it's a sideline warning.
Yep, they're giving a sideline warning.
So that play is going to go. It should go closer. First down, let's go right down to Brad Bannister. Brad.
Yeah, that's just a little antsy over here trying to get things moving. Just can't do it for Brookside.
So that ball is a first down, Brad, I'm guessing, inside the 20. It looks like they're spotting it at the 19, so that would be a 1st and 10 for Clyde. So Clyde is in the Fremont floor covering red zone, 2 plays. And they've gone quite a good distance. Here's a man in motion again. It's Berger. Here comes Cook. He's going to hand off to Daniels. Daniels got ahead of steam, puts his head down, gets across left guard, gets across the 15, down to near the 10. So right now, Clyde running the football, running it right, running it left. Mike, they've gone, let's see, 7. They've gone 47 yards in 3 plays.
Yeah. What Brad alluded to earlier about Clyde's defensive line being overmatched, and they're just having their way with Brookside. Same thing offensively. They're pretty much dominating that line of scrimmage.
Cook's got 2 receivers at the far side. He's got Wilson in motion in the left slot. He's back to throw. He's rolling to the right. He's looking. He's looking for anybody in the end zone, and he's just going to have to throw it away. That time he had a player open early, but couldn't get it to him, and then by the time as the play developed, the defensive coverage improved, and they'll have to throw that away. It'll be no gain, and it'll be a 3rd down, they're going to call it, and 2. The ball spotted at the 12.
Yeah, he had Wilson open on the out pattern quickly, but a little rust on Jaden Cook right now, but he did a nice job of getting rid of it and not taking a hit.
2 receivers of the far side for Clyde, single coverage here on the near side. Cook at quarterback. Here comes a man in motion. That's Lozier. They hand off to Daniels. He puts his head down. He's going to get himself fouled down into where? Where are they going to spot him, Brad Bannister? Looks like they're down to about the 3. All right, so Daniels, again, improving. He had been banged up a few weeks ago, but he's had some pretty big holes, Mike, off left guard.
Yeah, and that's like I said earlier, they're kind of having their way with that defensive line right now and just opening up some gaping holes.
So threatening the Clyde Fliers, they hand off to Daniels, and he's just going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. So the first score of the ball game goes to Clyde at the 7:40 mark. Daniels with a 3-yard run. And it is touchdown Clyde, and it will be an extra point attempt coming into the ball game, Sidney Holman.
You know, Clyde was able to get that pass down the field, so right now their offense is looking pretty good both ways, passing the ball as well as running the ball. And we'll see what Brookside's going to be doing offensively, if they're going to be able to maintain that line of scrimmage a little bit better than they did last time.
So Holman in for the extra point. Again, Clyde moved left to right. 7-play drive for the Flyers. They go 57 yards. The kick is up, and the kick is good. We'll take a timeout here with 7:40 to go. It is Clyde 7, Brookside nothing. We'll be back after this on 92.1 The Wolf.
Hi, I'm Tony Camilleri, CEO of the Fremont Federal Credit Union. We are proud to again sponsor high school sports on Eagle 99, 92.1, The Wolf, and 100.9 Coast Country. Stop into any of our convenient locations to check out the credit union difference. We offer checking account options with lots of perks, all with a free debit card, free online banking, and mobile banking, with the convenience of nationwide shared branching. Investing in our communities and our youth are what we're all about. Visit us at fremontfcu.com. Membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA.
Do you know what's going on with your insurance? Welty Insurance Group will give you a pain-free pandemic insurance checkup. Welty Insurance Group and Erie Insurance have coverage for home, life, auto, boats, motorcycles, and commercial. Get a quote you can trust and get a chance to win a gas card. Our family serving yours. Call Welty Insurance Group at 419-334-4477. Your Erie agents in Fremont, Tiffin, Fostoria, Cary, and Sandusky. And at weltyinsurance.com.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
Here's the kickoff by the Flyers. Again, it's a low line drive, fielded at the 25 and brought up to the 32-yard line. Brookside will have it 1st and 10. Your in-game scoreboard right now is Clyde 7 and Brookside nothing. That was a 6-play, 57-yard touchdown drive by Clyde Daniels with a 3-yard run. And right there, Mike, Clyde's offense worked almost to perfection on that drive.
Yeah, I mean, mixing things up and a nice long pass to Wilson, and Daniels being able to have his way on the line of scrimmage, be able to get some big yardage. So it's like we got Jake Montgomery back at quarterback.
All right, so Montgomery's going to take the snap at the 32, moving right to left. Clyde's showing blitz again. He's back to throw, looking. He's going to throw a little out here. It's going to be caught, and it'll be caught for almost a loss, I believe, right down in front of Brad Bannister. Brad, that time a good read by the Clyde defensive back.
Yeah, he did a nice job coming up and seeing that out pass was going to be there, and I think he lost a yard on that, John.
Mike, it looked to me like that was a little bit of a pick play. Did you see that?
Yeah, a little bit. But Jared Bolger was able to get through that and be able to come up and make that play. And like you said the last time, John, that one pass that did complete kind of looked like it fluttered a little bit. That pass right there was definitely fluttering. And if it wouldn't have been a little bit of a pick play, I think Bolger might have been able to pick that off and go in for 6.
All right, here we go. Back to throw again. There's a little screen pass, and it's incomplete. That time they tried to go to Matthew O'Donnell, a 6'2" senior receiver. So right now, we're really not trying to run the football against Clyde, and if they're relegated to passing, Mike, it could be a long night for Brookside. They need to get a little more balance in that offense.
Yeah, they're trying to get the quick hitters. That was a quick slant right there. Jaden Johnson was all over that for Clyde, just right there. And not a lot of zip on that ball, just kind of fluttered it up a little bit. So, I mean, if he continues to do that, that could be an easy interception for Clyde.
All right, Montgomery has got Grabalsek next to him. 3 receivers to the far side. They're cutting upfield, looking. He's just throwing it up there, and there's no one to be found. That pass was thrown in a zone where no one could be at it, and it's going to be 4th down for Brookside to get the punt back to Clyde.
Yeah, I think that he was thinking his receiver was going to be able to run down the sideline, which was not there because we had Jaden Johnson kind of holding up the receiver a little bit, and no penalty at all. I mean, it was legal.
Sure.
And he just tried to throw it to a spot, and like you said, John, there's nothing there but green.
All right, getting ready to punt the football. Standing back at their own 20. Here comes a man in motion on the punt coverage. And that's a long punt. Fielded at the Clyde 26, to the 30, to the right side, to the 35, to the 40. Come back up to the 45, keeping the feet onto the 50, into Brookside territory, to the 48-yard line. Nice return by the Flyers. And not sure who got that, if that was Lozier or not. Jared Lozier is on the return game. We'll see. Yeah, I believe that's who it was. So Clyde will have it 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line of Brookside. Let's go down to Brad. Brad, that series of plays by Brookside, Clyde just completely dominated the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely. Everything's got to be quick, John, because they have absolutely no time, whether Montgomery or Gabrowski's behind on center, taking the snaps, just no time to make any decisions.
Cook back to throw. A little flare pass out here to Lozier. Lozier's got a block. He crosses the 40, spins, and gets down to about the 37. And it should be a 1st down for the Flyers. So that time they got that quick outlet pass. Mike caught him right in stride. Some nice downfield blocking by Wilson. 1st and 10, Clyde at the 37 to pick up 11.
Yeah, that's the key, the downfield blocking on that.
Yeah, Jade Cook, I'm sure, pretty happy to be playing football right now.
Oh, without a doubt. And, it's nice that the offensive line is be able to handle this defensive rush and not putting a lot of pressure on him right now.
There's the snap. He's looking. He flips around to go to a bubble screen down the middle side. It's going to be completed. And it's going to be at the 25, at the 20, at the 10. Trying to get the pylon touchdown, Clyde. I believe that was Griffin Knopf. Let's go right down to Brad Bannister. Brad?
Absolutely. Griffin Knopf took that little quick pass. Jaden Cook looked right. He came back, and he slipped right through there, and then he turned on the jets, and that was a TD.
Yeah, that was a beautiful bubble screen. Beautiful.
It was. I mean, what Jaden Cook did right there, as far as looking to his right and then spinning all the way around, throwing it back left, right on target, that's Griffin Knopf's 4th touchdown of the season.
Sidney Holman in for the extra point. So the Flyers, in the span of a minute and 10 seconds, have scored again. Holman ready for the attempt. Looking for the snap. There's a snap. There's a hold. The kick is up, and the kick to me looks like it is good. We'll keep it right here. Your in-game scoreboard brought to you by Athletic Supply in Fremont. Clyde 14 and Brookside nothing. And that time, boy, Cook's play fake on that bubble screen, Mike, was textbook.
It was, and he had a little bit of rust, especially when he threw the long one to Wilson, where he's a little bit underthrown, but Wilson made a nice catch of diving down for it and making a reception on the very first long pass play. But that was right on target. When you can spin around in a circle and put it right where it needs to be, hit Griffin Doss on stride, that shows a lot. And I think that rust is probably gone right now, and I think Coach Carter's going to be happy that he may not have to keep him in the whole game.
So going down to Brad Bannister. Brad, that time Clyde showed a little bit of the speed that they do have with Griffin Doss.
Yeah, all their outside guys run well, whether it be Brady Wilson, whether it be Cobble, whether it be Knopf. They all run incredibly well, and Knopf did a great job of just weaving, following his blockers till he saw that crease, and then he just took off.
There's the kickoff. It's going to hit at the 25, be fumbled at the 26, going to the right side. And I tell you what, that time, Mike, did I just see what I thought I saw? The up back just went and took a knee.
Yeah.
He took a knee.
He did. He was bobbling the ball a little bit. He still had plenty of room to run, but he saw a lot of yellow jerseys coming at him, and I think, I really don't want any part of this. I'm going to take a knee, and we'll just take our chances from here.
John, did you see that was number 7, their quarterback, Montgomery, did that?
Yeah, I've
you
never
don't see that very often.
I've never seen that.
Well, Montgomery made the tackle on the punt.
So your in-game scoreboard right now from Athletic Supply, Clyde 14-0, Brookside with the ball again. This will be their third possession. And back to throw Montgomery. He's going to get hit across the middle, incomplete.
And again, John, they got to throw it quick because there's a lot of pressure coming up through that line. When you've got Remington, Norman, Walker, Britt, Robbie Greenslade, they're just kind of converging on that. And when you've got John Miller Perry, who seems like he's coming every time, he's got no time to get rid of it. So the coverage is outstanding that quick, so he's got really no place to put the ball.
All right, let's see what they dial up here. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. And looking for that snap. Low snap. They're going to go ahead and keep it to Grabowski. And actually, they're going to go ahead and play a little play option there. It's going to be thrown for a loss back to the 23, Mike. I just think right now that it looks like Brookside is really
struggling.
Well, I don't know. I would say struggle yet. It's still early in the game, but they are definitely out of sync.
Yeah. Okay, we'll say they're out of sync, but John Miller Perry is doing a good job of throwing them out of sync because he came to the right side of the center right there, was right back in the backfield.
Probably not used to this kind of pressure. Grabowski back at quarterback because they need him. He's looking to the right. He's looking for a guy out there who's going to be pitch and catch and good. And that's going to be to the 31-yard line. That time they got to O'Donnell. So right now, if you guard O'Donnell, if you guard Grabowski, you're probably going to stop Brookside.
Yeah, it looks like that. Jaden Johnson right there was there to make that play, and that time they rolled him out, so he had a little bit more time, was able to make a completion, but still short of a first down.
All right, so it was 4th down and 3. I'm sure they're not going to go ahead and give the ball back to the Flyers, so they're going to punt the football. Clyde will get it here in this kickoff. It's still 5 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. And there's going to be a penalty. And Clyde might have given him a first down.
And that was a fake, John. They snapped the ball to Grabowski, and they were going to run that around the corner. Clyde was ready for it, but we'll see who it's against.
Let's go down to Brad. Brad, got any idea? I believe it's offside Clyde, isn't it?
I think it is going to be offsides, and they're moving the chains right now, John.
So they run a fake. So they definitely have opened up the full playbook here tonight in this playoff game. But it was Clyde who had that jump in that play. It might have been Perry. Perry or Britt, one of the two. But that penalty by Clyde's going to keep the drive alive and get it 1st and 10 at the 38 for Brookside. So they get a nice first down here, Mike. Looks like Grabowski's at quarterback, kicks the right leg. Here comes a man in motion. He's going to roll to his right, looking. He's got a guy open in the flat. He throws it out here. It's underthrown. That time he did have a guy open, just couldn't get to him soon enough. That's Carson Nail, a junior. They got some pretty good size. All the receivers are 6 foot plus.
Yep. They have a little bit of height advantage, but Walker Britt, he was all over him. And again, there was no way he could square up and plant his feet to be able to throw that ball. He was throwing the ball while he was running backwards because Walker Britt was in hot pursuit.
Yeah, he was in a full sprint running diagonally backwards
Yes.
trying to throw that ball, which is almost impossible.
All right, it'll be 2nd down and 10 for Brookside. Clyde showing blitz again. Here they come. And it's going to be a run by the quarterback, and he will get to the line of scrimmage. It'll be no gain, still at the 38 on that run. Clyde's defense shutting that door down early, and right now, Mike, Brookside just trying to find a way to get through that wave of Clyde defenders.
I think that they thought there was a seam there, and he thought he was going to cut back, but Dylan Overmeyer happened to be standing right in that seam, and he met Dylan Overmeyer for a very, very minimal gain.
So Kenny Grabowski, he's a junior. He'll be back next year. He's at quarterback now, 3 receivers on the far side, and they just had somebody come on the field, and let's see if they've got enough
They got to
players.
call a timeout here.
Well, they've got 11, but they're going to call a timeout, and it's a Weldy insurance timeout. We'll take one here. 3:51 to go. It's Clyde up 14-0. We'll be back after this.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 the Wolf. 92-1 the Wolf, WOHF.
Right back to action. It is 3rd down and 9 for Brookside. The Cardinals trying to get that offense moving and keep Clyde off the field. Looking for the snap right here. Comes a man in motion to the near side. Looking to throw. Sideline pattern here, and it's going to be incomplete. Again, Johnson, they're going to throw a late flag here. Boy, there's an official right by the play, and the back judge decided to throw in a flag.
The back judge looked like he was grabbing his own jersey, signifying that maybe Johnson was holding on that point in time. I don't know where Brad's at, if he can see that any better than we could up here.
Yeah, it's going to be an automatic first down by penalty. So 2 penalties now have advanced the ball for Brookside.
Yeah, Mike, I did see that. He was definitely doing that, telling Coach Carter that he was holding on to his jersey when he was trying to bump him off the line, and that's the reason he couldn't release.
All right, so Jay Plummer comes into the ball game. A few substitutions. John Miller Perry back into the ball game. 1st and 10 for Brookside at the Clyde 48. So this drive stays alive. 7 plays so far on this drive for them. Start at their own 25. Here comes a man in motion. It's going to be a little run option. Ball's loose on the ground. It's picked up by Clyde.
Robbie Greenslade's got it.
And let's see if they're going to take it all the way, running in the end. If it's not against Clyde, it's a touchdown. There's a penalty on the field. And let's see what it's going to be.
And
should be a motion penalty,
and
I believe.
It looks like the Clyde coaches are saying we're going to waive that off. Robbie Greenslade brought that in.
Is it Greenslade who scored? Let's go down to Brad.
Yes, it was. He picked that up, and it was actually just a missed handoff. The quarterback went to give it to him and almost gave it behind him, and it just slid right out the back side of him.
Well, the running back, I mean, when that happened, though, neither one of them turned around.
No, it was like they thought somebody else
They thought somebody else had the ball.
Well, yeah, Robbie Greenslade.
That's funny, Mike. Yeah, but the bottom line is, it's just sat there. We're going.
Yeah. Somebody's got to pick that up.
So let's find out what the penalty is. They're going to tell the Clyde coaches right now.
I'm trying to figure out what they're even talking about. Like, what could take this long?
I believe it was a procedure penalty. Let's see what the call is. And we're going to find out right now. Holding against Brookside. That's declined. It's going to be...
You know, there's nothing worse in football when you have
so-
an inadvertent whistle, because what they did, the official blew the whistle
Right.
when Robbie picked the ball up and took off running. That's you know, a very, very difficult
Talk about inadvertent.
situation.
Talk about inadvertent. But the fact of the matter is, he ran in for the score. It's not going to count. They're going to give Clyde the ball first and goal. Where, Brad Bannister, are they going to put the ball?
Jeez, I'm trying
So,
to see what they're doing. This whole thing has me confused. What's
Yeah,
going
I'm not
on
sure.
here.
No, they're giving it to him first and goal inside the 5, which I don't understand.
I don't
That
understand
doesn't
that
make
either.
any sense
You either would give it to him right where the fumble happened and recovered,
And where they blew the whistle.
and where they blew the whistle, but they're giving it to him first and goal at the 5.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Why
that
would you
at
just
all.
not give him the touchdown? Either way, that's what it's going to be. They're going to spot the ball at the 5. Heck, could give to Robbie Greenslade so he could get his official touchdown. I mean, he ran that one about 45 yards, picked up fumble. Jaden Cook in at quarterback. He's looking to throw. He's going to keep it himself, puts his head down, spins, puts his head down, spins some more, and it's a touchdown. So Cook with a 5-yard run.
Kind of surprising.
Yeah, you would think
Absolutely.
a little bit, but the way that the Clyde offensive line is having their way with Brookside defensive line, you know, not real risky at that point.
So the 3:32 mark of the first quarter of play, the Flyers back on the board again.
John, you said this could be a quick game or a long game for. It could be a quick game as well, because the way
Oh.
this is going, we're going to be running that clock in the second and a half unless they do something differently.
Yeah, it's going to be long for Brookside. It's going to be quick for Clyde. And let's see if we can convert on this extra point. Again, Sydney Holman in, looking for the snap. There's a snap. There's a hold. She kicks it up, and it's a little bit of a knuckleball, but it goes through. So your score now, your in-game scoreboard by Fremont Athletic is Clyde 21 and Brookside nothing with 3:32 to go. We paid the bills a long time ago, Mike. I tell you what, we knew this game was going to start out good when we had food brought up to us by Blue Collar Bistro.
Oh, yeah, and, you know, that's a great way to get this night started, especially with, you know, the food that every time they bring it up here, and every time that I go in there and, you know, get something for myself and Kim, you know, it's nothing but great food. So I can't say enough.
John, do you know what kind of tacos were they brought in tonight? Because those were phenomenal.
You know, the last ones we had were the chicken fajitas, but these were beef tacos, but they were very, very good. Of course, we don't eat like that on the road, but we sure do at home. Nothing like a little home cooking, and right now the Clyde Flyers with some home cooking are up 21-0 here with 3:32 to go in the first quarter of the ball game. Remember, if a team has a 30-point lead or more, after halftime they'll have a running clock. We'll see what happens here. It looks like we might be headed that way. But Cook that time with the 5-yard run and the touchdown.
Yeah, that's Cook's second rushing touchdown of the season.
There's a low end-over-end kickoff, fielded and dropped at the 25, picked up at the 25. And again, that was their quarterback, number 7. He gets across the 30 to 32. And that was Jake Montgomery. I think that time they had maybe advised him, if you field the ball, you need to run it forward. And he did not take a knee, and it'll be 1st and 10. They've had pretty good field position to start most of their drives. The ball now spotted at the 32. Again, 5-yard, one-play, 5-yard drive for Clyde, but really it was a Greenslade fumble recovery is what made that happen. And we'll maybe have Brad check with the officials at halftime to find out the exact ruling on that. All right, so here we go. Play clock down to 12-10. Brookside breaking the huddle, moving right to left. They are down by 3 scores, 21-0 here against Clyde in this Division IV, Region 14 playoff game, playoff week number 1. Looking to throw. Grabowski's just going to throw it away. And that time, boy, he just got pounded. Oh, my.
Remington Norman, he was all over him. Right now, Remington Norman has 7.5 sacks, and he's probably had about that many hurries. And we'll have to add that one up to another hurried pass because he was all over him.
Well, you know when the lineman can look you in the eyes and know pretty much where things are at. I mean, they're very close friends by now. They've been face-to-face all night long. So I guess remember, Clyde plays in the Sandusky Bay Conference. Now, the other thing with Brookside, they play a good schedule. They play against some really good teams. I mean, think about this. They play Westlake. They play Black River, Columbia, Keystone, Firelands, Wellington. It's all good squads. Now they're going to try and run the football, and they will get 1 yard to the 33.
Walker Britt right there to make that tackle and just kind of slid down the line. Wasn't getting a whole lot of pressure from their offensive line and was able to wrap him up, and no gain.
Bailey Eberly into the ball game. Miller Perry sits down. Keeping the players fresh. Pretty good idea, Mike, for Clyde. I mean, obviously, you need all your depth you can have. Because remember, Clyde just barely got in the playoffs last year and then went and ran the table and won the state championship in Division IV. Look at him throw. Grabowski again, he's going to keep it himself. He's going to go off the right tackle, and he'll get tripped up and almost thrown for a loss. And let's see, it was a pickup of no gain. Boy, right now, if you're Kenny Grobelsack, you're sitting there going, okay, I ran left, I ran right, I passed left. There is nowhere for me to go. The coach is going to have to try to find some way, maybe at some quick slants, Mike, or something. He's got a couple tall receivers, but it's got to, as you said, happen in a hurry.
It's got to be quick.
Right back to punt at their own 22-yard line. Looking for the snap. The last punt was a fake.
There's another fake, and they got it covered.
Looking, it's going to be incomplete. They turn it over on downs at their own 32.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, he went back to throw the ball. Grobelsack was rolling out to throw the ball. Dylan Overmeyer latched right on to the man that released off the end of the line. There was nowhere for him to throw the ball. That was not very well set up, but Dylan Overmeyer did a great job of taking away whatever they thought they might have there and giving Clyde in great field position to put another 6 on the board.
My goodness. I probably, even if I was down 3 scores, probably not run a fake on my own 32 down by 3.
Now, if you remember, John, they were going to do that last time before Clyde was penalized.
I know it. So here we go. Cook in the ball game. Here's got man in motion. That's Lozier. They give it to Lozier. Lozier tries to cut to the outside, and we're going to have a penalty. They're going to have a holding penalty on Clyde as he tried to cut up, and I think there's a little hold, and let's go down to Brad Bannister and see what he thinks.
Yeah, the far side judge is calling a hold out there on the perimeter players for Clyde.
So that's Clyde's first big penalty. Takes it back 10. But those holding penalties, they're big ones.
Yeah, when you go from the spot of the foul, that could add a lot of extra yardage on. And that time, you know, Brookside did a pretty decent job of having a linebacker slide over, and so there was no cutback. But still, that could have been, you know, a good 5-6 yard gain.
All right, so it's going to be on the far hash. Clyde moving left to right, and they're all yellow. Blue trim. Cook at quarterback to the far side. Here comes Lozier, same setting again. And they're going to go ahead and call procedure on Clyde because on the left side, one of the receivers jumped quickly. So Clyde now losing a little bit of focus, and they are going in reverse. Let's go ahead and give you some scores right now. Port Clinton and Perkins are tied at 7. Oak Harbor up by 10 in the first quarter over Chippewa Chips out of Doylestown, Ohio, 13-3. And we'll try to give you some other scores as they pop up here. So Clyde now all the way back to the 48. So they are about first and, well, they say 27. And Clyde will run the same play again. This time they do counter up the middle to Daniels. Daniels spins and starts. Boy, he got grabbed by the helmet and got yanked down. I don't know if you saw that, Brad Bannister, but he got grabbed by the base of his helmet and got thrown down. He'll pick up a few down to the 41.
Yeah, Brookside's doing everything they can do to get a hold on these Clyde Fliers tonight because nothing's going their way.
Perkins up 14-7 now. Oak Harbor up 27-3. Vermilion down to Ontario 27-0. And Western Reserve over Margaretta 13-0. And Clear Fork and Edison tied at 14. So we'll continue to fill you up with that. So Clyde's got second down and 20 at the 41. See what kind of call they want to throw here. They've had pretty good pass protection. Cook straight back. He's going to throw it out here to Lozier. Lozier trying to cut upfield. He gets by one, and and that'll be not enough as he'll get down to about the 36. Mike, on that pass play right there, if we look at that, it's open, but boy, it shuts down. Is it better for him to try to cut back to the middle of the field with all the pursuit coming from right to left?
You know, that time the receivers didn't get real good blocks out there. Michael Gomes was able to get off that block and come up and make the play. You know, what Clyde usually does on plays like that, they maintain those stalk blocks, and they're able to run upfield. That time, that just did not happen.
All right, so it's going to be third down for Clyde, a big one, third down and 16. They've got to get all the way down to about the 23. Cook looking. He's got time. He's going towards the end zone. He's got a guy wide open. He just overthrows him. Oh, my, Lozier was open. There wasn't anybody 15 yards from around him, and Lozier could not pull it down. And, again, that's a little bit of the timing that Cook's going to have to try and find here if he's going to continue to play this year, coming in after an injury. But 2 times tonight we've seen Clyde with guys wide open in that defensive backfield.
You know, not only are the receivers getting away from the defensive backs, but there's not any pressure on Cook either. I mean, he's not taking any type of hit or anything after he gets rid of the ball. So the line is doing a great job of making a nice pocket for him.
10 seconds to go here in the quarter. It's 21-0. And Clyde's going to go for it. They're going to roll out. He's got time this time. He pump fakes. He's going to throw it here. It's going to be caught. And it's going to be not for a first down. They're going to get maybe back to the original line of scrimmage to the 34. And they will turn it over on downs to Brookside. So Brookside will get the ball at the 35-yard line, their own 35-yard line. And 6 seconds to go here in the quarter. Boy, what a long quarter here tonight.
Yeah, it does seem like it's a long quarter. But one thing that Clyde did not do in that series, you know, they tried some quick passes, and the downfield blocking was not there. One run, and they had a wide-open receiver downfield that missed connection. And that pass right there, just a short one, definitely not enough to get 27.
Should be the last play of the first quarter. Trips receivers in a diamond here on this near side by us. Now they're going to take a man in motion in the slot. They're going to hand off up the middle, and they will get a yard. And they'll go to the 35, and that will be the end of the first quarter. Your first quarter score, your Athletic Supply scoreboard, Clyde 21, Brookside nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on 92.1 The Wolf.
Hello, it's Pete with Sunrise. Did you know propane is made in America? Yep, right here in the good old US of A. Just an interesting fact I wanted to share. Another fact I'd like to share is Sunrise has one of the largest storage capacity of propane in the state of Ohio. That's right, we have the propane to get our customers through the worst of times, plus some. To make sure you have the propane this heating season, call Sunrise. Sunrise Cooperative. Success grows here.
Give your home the makeover it deserves at Fremont Floor Covering. Their knowledgeable staff can show you the many floor covering options available. Carpet, vinyl, waterproof flooring, laminate, hardwood, and ceramic tile. Fremont Floor Covering has over 150 carpet and vinyl remnants to choose from. Schedule for quality professional installation or do it yourself. Quality floor covering at affordable prices since 1997. 12 months, same as cash available. Fremont Floor Covering, near the corner of North Front and State Street. Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
And welcome back to the second quarter of play here at Bishop Stadium. A long first quarter, at least it felt like that. 21-0, Clyde with the lead. Brookside with the ball moving left to right. Back at quarterback is Montgomery. Clyde showing blitz again. Montgomery looking for the ball. He's looking this near side. He's going to throw it across the middle. It's going to be incomplete. That time they did run the slant play, and it was nice coverage out there by Overmeyer. But I will tell you, not Overmeyer, excuse me, it was Bolger.
Yep.
But that pass could have been caught. That time they threw the quick slant on the inside. He had position, just a little underthrown. It'll make it third down and 9.
Yeah, that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to hit that quick stuff because he had a lot of pressure coming at him. After he released the ball, he did get a hit from Walker Britt.
Yeah, he's going to remember the faces of these Clyde defenders after
I
tonight's
believe
game.
so.
All right, so now Grabowski's in the backfield with Montgomery. Let's see what they do. They've got third down and 9. Here comes a man in motion. Here to the near side. Looking to throw. It's going to be seam across the middle and caught. And that time, on the coverage on the backside, Bailey Everly gave him a little too much room, and they hit the man in motion. It was Carson Nail. And he came out of the slot, Mike, straight down the middle seam.
Yeah, he did a nice job of finding that. Clyde was just playing a little bit of a soft zone, and he hit right behind Overmeyer and right in front of Bailey. So that was a good pass, nice little touch pass that he was able to get
Well, it's
completed.
pick up a 14. First and 10, Brookside. They're down 21-0 here at Bishop Stadium. Trying to get on the board here. 10 seconds on the play clock. Clyde showing blitz again. 3 receivers. Here comes that same man in motion, and they're going to have a penalty here because the man moved by Brookside. So they're going to go ahead and set it back 5 yards, pull it back to about the 44-yard line.
The reason he moves is because John Miller Perry was coming hard, and he was going to be right past him. So, a little bit got a little anxious to try to stop him from getting behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, I can see that.
Yes.
I noticed
The official.
I noticed in the pro game a lot of times with tackles, before the snap, they'll let them put a foot back, which seems like they're in motion, but they're allowed to put their far foot back to set as they get to move. It's a new rule. And so if you ever see that motion, you'll understand it. It'll happen a lot tomorrow. Again, they're looking to go ahead and run option out here. They get to Grabowski. He's going to pick up some yardage, but he'll pick up about 4. He'll pick up the penalty. That time he got dropped pretty hard. Let's go down to Brad Bannister. Brad looking just a little too comfortable on the sideline right now.
Yep, he's so comfortable he didn't even know we're going down to him.
That's right. Maybe he's on vacation. I don't know.
Hey, I just had an equipment malfunction. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh.
Well, we thought you were pulling a Dave Danhoff. Sometimes we would lose him for about 5-10 minutes. We wouldn't know where he was.
That doesn't surprise me with Dave.
All right, so it's going to be second down and 11 at the 48, moving left to right. Montgomery looking for the snap. He is. It's going to be a low flare pass out. It caught by Grabowski, dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, I tell you, they had a little screen set up along the sideline. Mike, nowhere to go. And right now it looks to me like Brookside trying to get to the perimeter of the Clyde defense. There's nothing going there.
No, there's nothing going to be out there. Jaron Bolger was out there, and they, didn't really have many people out there to set that screen up. Jaron Bolger went right past the blockers and was able to make that play as soon as he caught the ball.
Of course, Grobelsack had coverage right on top of him, Mike, and you're going to aim for him. And there's going to be another penalty, and it's number 6. Carson Nail turned upfield again too soon. And it'll be another procedure penalty, and this game is just kind of turned into one of those flag fest.
Yeah, and, they're trying to do probably more than what they're capable of, trying to get a little jump or whatever.
Right.
And, obviously the officials, they ain't going to let that happen.
So it's going to be third down and 16, 21-0 your score here with 9:30 to go in the first half of play here in Clyde. Clyde wants to get the ball back, increase that lead, and right now a pretty good job by Brookside to keep their offense off the field, and there's going to be a ball thrown out of bounds, and there's going to be a penalty.
That's offensive interference right there.
If anything, it could be a personal foul depending on how they did it.
I don't know.
Brad Bannister. Brad.
Man. Yeah, I'm not sure if he grabbed his face mask while he was reaching back to grab him, but it looked like his head jerked all the way around as well.
It was either horse collar or face mask, something, because it
Brookside,
was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was violent.
Jaron Bolger was right there to pick that pass off, and, man, he got
lost it down.
Yeah, they declined the penalty, but that's a hard one to decline that penalty after getting, kind of hogtied.
All right, so they're going to punt the football.
They didn't leave any question up to the officials on that, and that was a pretty easy one to call.
So that's a nine-play drive by Brookside. So they ate some clock here to start this second quarter. They've kept that Clyde offense off the field, but they can't score right now. Clyde's going to get the ball back. They're standing about their 20 to receive this punt. The last punt was really good, and this one is too. It's a driving punt. It's going to be fielded right at the 15, coming to the near side. It looks like it's Lozier.
They have the wall set up.
To the 30, to the 40, to the 50. Cuts back up to the middle of the field, and he'll get dropped at about the 48-yard line. It'll be Clyde first and 10 at their own 48, at the 48 of Brookside. That was a nice return.
Yeah. That's something that, it's a thing of beauty when you can sit up here and you can see all the yellow jerseys just forming the wall to the left. And Lozier was able to get to that and pick up some really good yards. I thought maybe that was going to be able to take it to the house, but he had to cut that back inside where the pursuit was coming. But big return.
So Clyde will have it 1st and 10, moving right to left here. 9 minutes to go, and it's 21-0. Our in-game scoreboard brought to you by Fremont Athletic Supply. The second quarter moving a little more quickly. And Cook, 2 receivers to the far side. He's going to hand out to Daniels right up the middle. He sidesteps one, gets by another one, keeps his feet moving, and he will power forward down to about the 42. And that's a nice power run. Should be a pickup of about 6 for Daniels right off left guard.
Yeah, he sidestepped Julian Bogdan, and then he sidestepped Sean Moore and was able to pick up those extra yards.
And we're going to have a timeout. Brookside, we'll take a timeout here. All right, this is the Weldy Insurance timeout. We want to remind you that it is 21-0. Clyde on top. We'll be back after this on the BAS Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Tony Camilleri, CEO of the Fremont Federal Credit Union. We are proud to again sponsor high school sports on Eagle 99, 92.1, The Wolf, and 100.9 Coast Country. Whether it's for the community we live in or guiding people with the biggest financial decisions of their lives, we believe in people helping people. If you live, work, worship, volunteer, or attend school in Sandusky, Ottawa, and parts of Seneca and Wood counties, you're eligible to join us. Investing in our communities and our youth are what we're all about. Visit us at fremontfcu.com. Membership eligibility required. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, it's Eagle 99 and 92 on the Wolf Sports Director Kyle Knight for Athletic Supply in downtown Fremont. When it comes to outfitting the sports staff here at the radio station, we go to Juan and Athletic Supply. Athletic Supply offers us affordable prices on shirts and pullovers and handles all the custom embroidery. No matter what your sport, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, or volleyball, you'll find the equipment and clothing you need to make you look good and play good. So get in the game at Athletic Supply in downtown Fremont.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
Back to play, 2nd down and 5. Cook's going to throw it out here. He's got a completion, and it's going to be right at the 1st down marker. Should be a 1st down to Andrew Cobble. And Clyde will advance the ball. Nice pass, touch pass that time from Cook to Cobble. And it'll spot it at the 32. And it'll be 1st down, Clyde.
Yeah, Gobelsek was on that tackle, and he's a little shaken up. He's walking off the field right now. So one of their main players, Gobelsek, on the sideline.
That could be a bit of a problem for Brookside. He's one of their key two-way players. Clyde with 3 receivers here to the near side. Flaring out, they're just going to throw a little pass out there. It's going to be caught only for about 3. Possession pass out to the far side. It looks like got it to Wilson, is it? They haven't got the ball in Wilson's hands yet tonight. And that ball will be spotted at the 34. So just a pickup of 2. 2nd down and 8, moving right to left. Clyde with the lead and the ball here at 7:45 and counting in this first half of play. Daniels just to the right side. Daniels gets the ball straight up the middle. There he goes. He powers forward, and he's going to get very close to the 1st down. I believe they're going to give it to him. Let's see if Brad Bannister can put a pair of eyes on that.
No, they're going to mark it short, John.
Okay, well,
about
it's about a yard
short.
Okay. They're spotted at about the 28. 3rd down and 1 for Clyde. This is obviously 4-down territory for them.
Yes. Yeah, Carson Nail did a nice job of wrapping him up and not allowing him to get that extra yard.
So Cook has played the whole game at quarterback. He's played the game well. Here comes Lozier in motion. 3 to this side to Daniels. 1st down. Down inside the 25. So it'll be 1st and 10 Clyde at the 25. Starting to run the ball. 7 minutes to go. Up 21-0. So, Mike, when Brookside comes in, we don't know that much about him except for what we can read in numbers and everything else. It looks to me like they're starting to get a little tired. They've got a lot of two-way players, not a lot of guys on the team. You said 35 maybe. And so there's not a lot of rest for the weary out there for Brookside.
No, and when you got
there's another handoff off the left tackle for Danielson. He sprints across the 20 down to the 18-yard line, a pickup of 7. It'll be another, 2nd down and a long 3. Clyde's starting to now run the football.
Yeah, and they're doing a nice job of that. When, like you said, John, they got a lot of two-way players, and those two-way players, they're, especially on the line, they're getting hit every single time, and that Clyde line is just having their way with them right now.
I think Clyde's setting Brookside up for a pass to Wilson. Let's see if they get to him. Comes a man in motion. They're going to fake. They're going to look it, and they just flare it out here to the up back. and that is going to be on the left-hand side. Trying to keep his feet, but then stepping out of bounds is Lozier, and he did not get the first down right in front of you, Brad.
Yeah, he tried to cut it back inside after he caught that ball, but there was nowhere to go. Brookside did a nice job flooding that with their defensive back, that right side for Lozier.
So they're about a yard short. I'm guessing they've got to get to the 10.
Correct.
All right, 3rd down and 1. And into the ball game for Clyde is Abe Morrison. Abe Morrison, the sophomore quarterback who filled in for Cook and got some reps. He's got big 3rd down play. 2 receivers to each side for Clyde. Morrison looking for the snap. He's just going to keep it himself. Puts his head down, spins, and Morrison goes into the end zone. Touchdown. He said, "Thank you, Coach."
You know, and the thing about it is, I know Clyde saw that. They were setting that up, and they probably did not want Cook to be able to run that. Now, they did at the other end, but at that time, with a little more open field, you could get that blindside shot. So they saw that was there and said, "Abe, go ahead and take this into the end zone," and he did a nice job of coming through with that 6 points.
And it was beautiful play and execution by the Flyers. So again, Holman up to attempt another extra point. She's been perfect so far tonight. Flyers would like to go up 28-0 with 5:50 to go here in this first half of play. And let's see if they can convert. She's set. They're looking for the snap. There's a snap. There's a hold. The kick is up. It's end over end, and it is good. We'll take another timeout. Your Fremont Athletic in-game scoreboard here in Clyde tonight is Clyde 28 and Brookside 0. We'll be back after this on the BAS Sports Network.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Ohio did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 The Wolf. 92-1 The Wolf, WOHF.
And welcome back to Bishop Stadium here in Clyde. It's Clyde and Brookside. Clyde up 28-0. There's the ensuing kickoff. It'll be fielded at the 27, up to the 30, the 35. They get a nice return up to the 39-yard line. They will have it 1st and 10. That was an 8-play, 48-yard drive by Clyde, and it was a Morrison with an 11-yard touchdown. Now some updated scores. Perkins and Port Clinton tied at 14. Boyle Carver opening up now on the Chippewa Chips of Doylestown, 41-3. And Vermilion losing to Ontario 34-0. That'll be a running clock. Western Reserve over Margaretta 20-7. And Edison and Clear Fork, those are two good teams. And they are tied at 14 so far, along with Perkins and Port Clinton tied at 14. All right, Brookside with the ball. Montgomery looking for the snap. Here comes that man in motion again, which is Nail. And they're going to pitch it out here. A little run option, get out here, and it will be Grobelsack. He gets the ball, and he picks up pretty good off that right tackle, Mike. He's going to get it across the 40 to the 42. Pickup of 3.
Yeah, he was able to turn that upfield. Remington Norman coming down the line and was able to make that play as well as Dylan Overmeyer, both sliding down the line. But, a positive play for the Cardinals right now.
2nd down, and we'll call it 7. Clock moving at 5:12. 28-0 our score. And we'll keep you updated on scores moving forward. Back to throw. Montgomery throws across the middle. Intercepted! It was Overmeyer. He's at the 30. He's got a block. He spins. He turns. He gets down to the 13-yard line. And that time Overmeyer said, "Hey, this one's for me." And he took a cookie out of the cookie jar, Mike Martin.
Yeah, put it right in his hands. The receiver was behind him. I think he tried to float that over top of Overmeyer. Didn't think Overmeyer had the hops that he's got. He was able to get up in the air and, haul that thing down. And then showed his running ability, running through the line, a little weaving, duck and weaving, getting through that line, picking up the extra yards.
So Brad Bannister, he did have some nice downfield blocking by the receivers, but they had to let go. Otherwise, they could have got called for holding when they spun and turned.
Yeah, he did a nice job weaving in and out of those blockers to get it all the way down here to the 13.
All right, Clyde's got a 4-receiver set. Here comes a man in motion this time. And they're going to give to Daniels, and Daniels falls down. A very rare misstep by Daniels.
Turf monster.
John, I did get a clarification from the referee on that penalty.
Yep.
What happened when that fumble occurred? The flag really didn't have any impact on it.
Right.
But as he was running down the field, when he got to the 5, that's when the referee blew his whistle.
Okay.
And so it has to be placed where it was where the ball was when the whistle was blown.
Okay, thanks for that. That's how they came up with the spot. Makes sense. Cook back to throw. Looking. He's being chased. He's going to run. Cook is just going to slide down inside the 7. So Jaden Cook kind of learned his lesson right there, Mike. He said, okay, I got an opening, but I'll sit down right here. He picks up about 4 on that play. They're going to spot it at the 10. And so it will be 3rd down and a good 6.
Yeah, I'm sure that not only Coach Carter but the rest of the coaching staff said, Jaden, if you think you can get an extra 2 yards, don't. Just get down to the ground and we'll play another down.
All right, so it's 3rd down and 6, moving right to left up 21-0. Here comes a man in motion right now. They'll set right at the wingback spot, looking to throw. Looking, boy, a guy wide open the left side, but he'll go to the right side. It's going to be a touchdown, Clyde. So that time they had him open on both sides. And it looks like, did Wilson finally get that one?
Yep, that was Wilson.
10-yard pass.
They had that set up perfectly. They had the defense just flowing to the right, a little throwback. Wilson came across against the grain. Nice, easy pitch and catch to be able to get in the end zone.
So Clyde goes 2 plays, 14 yards for the score. And they had receivers wide open on both sides, Mike. The receiver on the far side was wide open, too. All right, so Holman in for the kick. She's been busy tonight. This will be number 5 if they can convert. She kicks it up, bend over, and that's a good, solid kick by Sydney. And right now it is Clyde 35 all over Brookside. So unless Brookside can score here in the next 3:33, we'll be looking at a running clock in the second half. A lot of lopsided scores are going to happen, Mike, because as you said earlier, look at Ross last night.
Right.
They won 70-something-0.
71-0.
The team they played had only scored 2 touchdowns all year long, so There was no offense there at all. So that Ross offense, which is explosive. And then I think just past the beginning of the 3rd quarter, Chad emptied the bench and let everybody play, and they still scored a few. But you're going to see that in some of these first-round games because some of these squads would never even come close to making the playoffs.
And, you look at like Doylestown going all the way up to Oak Harbor. That's a long ride to be getting blown out right now by 40 points.
Again, Perkins and Portland still tied at 14. Oak Harbor up 41-3. Vermilion still down 34-0. And Clyde getting ready to kick it off again. Western Reserve, Vermilion then again 41-0. There's a kick. It's nice field position as they're going to get it at the 37. Brookside will get it 1st and 10. Their own 37. We'll finish with a few more scores here. Western Reserve 20-7 over Margaretta. And again at half, Edison and Clear Fork, probably the best game in the region. Clear Fork always good. Down in Belleville, it's 14-14.
Yeah, and, you look at the games that, like we've got here, like last night, and some of the other ones like Oak Harbor. But then you've got good parity, too. The ones that were seated.
Perkins and Port Clinton.
Right, the ones that are seated very close. Yeah. That's why they're seated so close.
Right, Edison and Belleville. Those two, both those games, 14 all. All right, so with the football, the Brookside Cardinals trying to get on the board here, 35-0. The score, looking to see if they can get up there. Back to pass to Montgomery's going to throw it across the middle. It's going to be intercepted. That time, who jumped the route?
That was Jared Bolger.
All right, so Bolger jumps that route. That's back-to-back interceptions by Clyde, and the wheels have fallen off the bus for the Brookside Cardinals right now. Clyde getting ready to go in and score again.
Jake Montgomery, I feel kind of bad for him. He's throwing his hands up in the air. There's nowhere to put the ball. Obviously, there was nowhere for him to put that ball except for into Bolger's hands. But he's getting pressure, too. I mean, he's got no time at all. Even on the quick stuff, they're coming through that line and putting pressure on him.
But, Mike, if you look at it this way, you've got your standard pass plays. If everything's so tight on your standard pass plays, you're not going to make something special happen. Throw the ball over. Throw the ball away. Try and keep from turning the ball over because now Clyde's offense back on the field. So Clyde's got 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Cook's still in at quarterback. Looking, he's rolling to his left. He's got all sorts of time. He throws it out here incomplete. That time he could not get the ball to his intended receiver, who is Cameron Tuckerman, a senior.
Yeah, and again, I think, that is just a little bit of, the rust, per se, that he may have, because he's usually pretty accurate on those throws.
But in that case, also remember, Tuckerman doesn't get a lot of playing time, so it's one of those timing things.
Yep.
We'll see. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Caden Berger into the ball game now. He hasn't seen the ball come his way. Senior. Played a big role for the Flyers this year. He's on the right side now. And he's going to go ahead and they're going to give it to Daniels. Daniels gets through the line, and he'll power forward, keeps his feet moving. Daniels going to get all the way to the first down. Let's go down to Brad.
Yeah, John, looks like they're moving the sticks here. Nice job, nice power run by Mike Daniels.
Boy, he turned his back and kept on driving those legs. You remember Daniels, Michael Daniels, a junior, 6 foot 192. When you got a 6 foot 200-pound running back, you can make things happen. And he just did there, picked up that first down on the ground. And the clock is moving, 2:56 and counting here before we get to halftime. In motion is Berger to the left. Cook looking, hands off to Daniels. He tries to get out the outside. He cuts up the middle, and they will bottle him up, but not until he gets to about the 26. So he's going to pick up almost 6 on that play. So the Flyers showing a good mix, Mike, of inside, outside running schemes. And then obviously they haven't thrown a lot of mid seams, straight down the middle seams, but they've thrown to the perimeter quite a bit. Let's see if they try to go down the middle of the field here sometime on this drive. Lozier in motion. He's going to line up on the other side. We have 3 receivers on the near side here again. It's going to be Cameron Tuckerman on single coverage out here near us. Cook back, looking. He's going to throw a bomb in the middle, and it's going to be in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Brad, right down to you. That was a missed opportunity.
Oh, it did a nice job. Who was that? Griffin Nosser got behind the defense there, and it just a little bit off on that pass, but it could have been caught.
Yeah, he was, again, wide open.
I think the speed of the Clyde receivers is showing up here a little bit against Brookside, because most of the receivers in any of the longer plays that develop, Mike, have been able to get some separation. All right, 2 receivers to the far side, one to the near side. They're going to hand off to Daniels. He counters back up the middle, puts his head down, keeps on going, powers down inside the 15, and they will drop him at the 13. Another 13-yard pickup, and right now Michael Daniels is saying, hey, we throw the ball, but we run the ball pretty well too.
Yeah, and Caden Berger right there did a nice job. They had a linebacker that was shooting in, thought he was going to be able to make the tackle, and Caden Berger just leveled him. Oh, great block.
Nothing like a little pancake here.
It was.
A little nighttime pancake, right? Right to the line of scrimmage. Clyde's got it on the 14. 1st and 10, 1:32 to go here in the first half of play. Daniels again. This time they stud him up, and he gets dropped. There will be no gain. That time he ran into a wall, and there was nowhere to go. And actually going to lose one back to the 14. So it would be 2nd down and 11. Lozier comes in, and I believe Berger comes off.
Yeah, that time Aiden McLaughlin was able to maintain his ground and make that stop.
Boy, there's nobody covering the post pattern on the field right now.
No, there's the middle of the field is wide open.
That post pattern is right where that back judge is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what they do. Daniels is going to look to the right side, and Jayton Cook right now is going, oh, please get open. Here comes quickly a man to motion, and that's Wilson.
That's Griffin
Brings the safety with him. Looking. They'll throw it out here. It's going to be incomplete. That time, who was the ball intended to?
I think there was a little miscommunication as far as who they were trying to get that ball to.
I almost think he was trying to go to Will Lozier, and Will went inside, I think.
Right. It was to his backside, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be 3rd down and 11. If the Flyers do not score or get this first down, are we looking at a Sidney Holman field goal?
There's a very good possibility of that.
It'd be about a 30-yarder. Again, here comes Tuckerman in motion. He's now setting up in the slot. And Cook look for the ball. He's looking. He's going to throw it back out here. Tuckerman's going to get it at the 10. He spins, keeps his feet moving, and he'll get inside the 5, and that's where they will spot him, is at the 5-yard line. He just drilled out of bounds at the end by Grobelsack. Grobelsack said, I am tired of getting beat here, and he just flew him in there. It's going to be 4th down, and what is it, Brad, about 1.5 yards?
It's 4th and 2.
4th and 2, okay.
And that was Will Lozier that caught that ball.
Oh, it was Will Lozier, okay. All right, so it's going to be 4th down and 2, and what are the Flyers going to do? Mike, you're the head coach. I think we're going to get timeout. He's going to let the ball go down. I think he's going to wait.
Let that time go down and see if it gives Sydney opportunity to put 3 on the board.
Over here getting the leg ready. And there'll be a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout, get ready for the last 12 seconds after this on the BAS Sports Network.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Ohio's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 the Wolf. 92-1 the Wolf, WOHF.
All right, back to action. They attempt a 22-yard field goal. It had distance, but I don't believe she got it through the uprights. Let's go down to Brad Bannister.
Yeah, John, she pushed that to the left here. She just didn't. She's sitting on that outside hash here toward the home side, and it stayed on this side of the goalpost.
Okay, so Clyde ran the clock down, gave her a chance, 8 seconds left. And, of course, Brookside will get the ball. Our halftime score is going to be Clyde 35 and Brookside nothing. Stay tuned for our halftime show here today, the Ohio News Network. And also we'll get some stats from Mike and get ready for a second half. That's going to be a running clock here where Clyde will get the ball to start the second half of play. Montgomery back, looking for the snap. He's going to run a play. He's going to hand off to Grobelsack, and it's going to be dropped, and that should be the end of the first half of play. It will be. Your halftime score here at Robert J. Bishop Jr. Stadium. Week number 1 of the high school playoffs. It's Clyde 35, Brookside nothing. Stay tuned for our halftime show here on the BAS Sports Network.
Hello, it's Pete with Sunrise. I found another interesting fact I wanted to share. Did you know that being behind a slow-moving combine for 5 miles equals the same amount of time you would spend getting stuck at 2 red lights in town? Keep this in mind and give our farmers some room to work and give yourself the opportunity to appreciate all the fall colors of the season. Being safe and going slow behind a combine has to be more enjoyable than sitting through 2 traffic lights in town. Sunrise Cooperative. Success grows here.
Miller Super Value in Clyde is the place to shop for great savings on groceries. Each week, hundreds of items are discounted to help you save even more. Check out their expanded meat department. For a great supper, shop Miller's extensive deli for fried chicken, wings, great salads, and side dishes. Taken Big Pizza and fresh daily sushi are now available. Miller Super Value, your hometown grocery, is proud of our Clyde Fliers. Go Flyers!
Crown Battery, locally owned and operated, is pleased to support tonight's teams and takes this time to wish them luck for a successful season. The staff at Crown Battery recognizes the importance of teamwork both in and out of the classroom. That is why everyone at Crown Battery is a proud sponsor of not only tonight's broadcast, but a proud sponsor and contributor to our community, its athletic programs, and its educational infrastructure. Good luck and thank you from all the staff at Crown Battery, supplying you power since 1926. 6.
Frickers has just what you want, everyday values. Monday, boneless frickin' chicken wings. Tuesday, traditional frickin' chicken wings. Wednesday, steak day at Frickers. Thursday, frickin' chicken chunks. Whether it's dine-in, carry-out, delivery, or order online at frickers.com. Everyday values are available at only one place. Dine-in, carry-out, delivery, and new at Frickers. Order online at frickers.com.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
From the Ohio News Network, this is Tonight in High School Football. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
And hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tonight in High School Football's halftime report. As the playoffs get started this weekend and everybody getting in, we'll talk logistics of pulling this whole thing off with Tim Streed of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Tim joins us next on the Ohio News Network.
After having been restricted in order to preserve PPE for hospitals, many dental offices are now reopening. That's a good thing because regular dental care ensures that we have good oral health and good overall health. As dentists reopen their offices, you may notice some changes. Your dental office may take your temperature and ask a series of questions related to your health. You may be asked to wait in your car until the dental office is ready for you. You may notice your dentist and staff wearing a different type of face mask or face shield when providing care. All of these changes and more are designed to ensure dental patients are protected. When you make your appointment, ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know that you're being treated by the very best. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care. These ODA member dentists are bound by the highest ethical standards and have access to superior ongoing education, training, and resources. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit associationsadvanceohio.com. This is Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott DeMauro.
Early voting is starting in Ohio this week, and if you're a registered voter, you need to make a plan to cast your ballot, whether absentee by mail, early in person, or on Election Day. The candidates in every race, up and down the ballot, may determine what happens in our classrooms, and your vote gives you a say in those decisions.
Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
Welcome back, everyone. Joining us at halftime tonight, Tim Streed, Director of Information Services with the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Tim, thanks for your time. To quote an old line from the A-Team, I love it when a plan comes together. With everybody getting in this year, how challenging was it to pull off what everybody did regarding these football playoffs?
Hey, Skip, great to be with you, and I love the A-Team reference. That was one of my favorite shows. Boy, to think back to where we were, like in, let's say, early to mid-July, to just know that we got here, you know, we're playing in the playoffs. It has been a constant effort, but the plan did come together. And I tell you, a lot of credit for that goes to our member schools for following the safety guidelines from the governor and Ohio Department of Health. But just having so many schools opt into the playoffs, which is obviously a great thing, but it really was a mountain of an effort by the OHSAA staff to pull this all together.
Tim, as unlikely as it might be, when all of this pandemic is over, would maybe this postseason format ever be considered again?
Well, I can tell you, Skip, that after every round of playoffs are over, Bo Rugg is our football administrator. He meets with his tournament committee, and they talk about all kinds of things. I know that there's several things that are going to go on in this year's playoffs that he'll certainly talk about. I have not heard a growing sentiment to continue allowing all schools in, but I know Bo will talk about it. The one thing that's always a good chance to remind folks is that we have already announced an expansion for the playoffs next year, where the top 12 teams in each region would advance to the playoffs instead of just the top 8. So we're already looking at a bigger field next year anyway. But I know that Bo and Executive Director Doug Ude and our staff and Bo's tournament committee, they'll talk about all kinds of things afterwards and, look and see if this is something that they would want to continue with.
Tim, as far as venues go, we spoke with Director Doug Ute a couple of weeks ago, and he said it's going to be a work in progress for the later rounds, the semis and the finals. When, I guess, would be a good target date on the calendar to get those sites solidified?
Oh, yesterday. You're right. And Doug is right that we are working, and it's an ongoing effort, just as Doug said. We have already said that we will not be able to be in one site for all 7 state championship games. And the weekend before that, we'll have 14 state semifinal games. We'll be spread around the state for those, but what we're really looking at now are the nicest and most accommodating high school facilities that we can find that are willing to host. And as we were talking about, there's so many sites that we normally use that due to COVID, they've already reached out to us and said that they just cannot host this year. So that's just the reality of 2020. We'll be okay. We do have sites available who have said that they are willing and able to host. We're definitely looking at sites that do have a lower rental. I mean, that's just the reality of where we are right now. With limited number of spectators permitted, it's just trying to piece it together. But I know that the good thing about Ohio, especially here in the last maybe probably 5 or 6 years, there are so many great high school stadiums out there that are just going to be a great place to play our state semifinals and probably even the state championship game.
Tim Streed, Director of Information Services with the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Good luck with everything coming up. We appreciate your time, okay?
Thank you, Skip.
Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
Give your home the makeover it deserves at Fremont Floor Covering. Their knowledgeable staff can show you the many floor covering options available. Carpet, vinyl, waterproof flooring, laminate, hardwood, and ceramic tile. Fremont Floor Covering has over 150 carpet and vinyl remnants to choose from. Schedule for a quality professional installation or do it yourself. Quality floor covering at affordable prices since 1997. 12 months, same as cash available. Fremont Floor Covering near the corner of North Front and State Street.
Stop waiting to replace your old, outdated furniture. You will not break the bank at Erie Furniture Outlet. No need to wait for a sale. Erie Furniture Outlet offers brand new, brand name furniture at outlet prices. Erie Furniture has the lowest prices on Ashley and carries England, Liberty, Craftmaster, Serta, Souter, Best, and more. See what you like in their 30,000 square foot showroom? You can take it home that day. Erie Furniture Outlet will also deliver to the islands. Shop Erie Furniture Outlet just south of Kalahari on Route 250 or eriefurnitureoutlet.com for their rock bottom prices.
A home loan or mortgage is likely to be one of the biggest financial transactions you ever make, so it's important to know all the facts. We want to make sure your credit is in good shape before you apply and get you pre-approved before you go house hunting. What's a pre-approval, you ask? A pre-approval makes you valuable. It helps you stand out from the pack. Having your pre-approval will give you a leg up on the bidding wars. You can end your search sooner with a pre-approval. We believe we are more than just a credit union. We don't just finance homes, we build communities, the kind where people lie their roots, get to know their neighbors, and raise their children. As your financial institution, we're committed to making this happen in the easiest way possible. We believe it's up to us to make the home buying process better for everyone. If you're in the market to refinance or purchase a new home, come and talk to me, Doug Brizendine, located at 2856 East Harbor Road in Port Clinton, and I will help answer all your mortgage questions.
Membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA accounts and loans, subject to approval and program guidelines. Equal housing lender, NMLS 494252.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
Well, it is halftime here at 92.1 The Wolf, and our feature broadcast here is Division IV, Region 14 matchup between the Clyde Fliers and the Brookside Cardinals, and tonight it is all Clyde so far. The Flyers up 35-0 here at halftime. Mike, I tell you what, we've got more time on the clock and maybe a little extended halftime here, which is nice to have. I'll give you the scoring real quick. Brookside got the ball to start the first half of play. Went about 8 plays and they had turnover on downs. Clyde came back. Daniels on a 6-play drive. They went 43 yards. Daniels on a 3-yard run at the 7:40 mark. The extra point was good. It was 7-0. After 3 and out, Clyde got the ball back again. A 2-play, 48-yard drive, Nuffs on a 37-yard pass play. So within a minute and 10, Clyde scored again. It was 14-0 at the 6:30 of the first. Then after a Brookside fumble, Clyde got the ball back again. And it was probably the most unique play. I probably will classify that as Did You See That play, brought to you by Eye Centers of Northwest Ohio. See 2020 and 2020 with a customized eye care plan at the Eye Centers of Northwest Ohio. There's a fumble picked up by Robbie Greenslade, and Brad Bannister got clarification. The referee was trailing the play and blew an inadvertent whistle at the 5-yard line. And Clyde got the ball after Greenslade did score, nullified the score, and then we have to make a correction. Abe Morrison went in at quarterback and not Jaden Cook. And Morrison with the 5-yard touchdown run with 3:32 to go in the first. It was 21-0. Then after another possession, turning over downs, Clyde turned it over on downs, and then a punt by Brookside. Clyde got it back at 8-play, 48-yard drive. Morrison this time with another quarterback run, keeper, 11 yards. It's 28-0 with 5:50 to go in the half. There was an Overmeyer interception on the next possession. Clyde went 2 plays, 14 yards. Wilson with a 10-yard pass made it 35-0. Another interception. Then Clyde went in late with seconds to go in the half, and it was a 22-yard field goal by Clyde that was no good. And Holman just pushed to the right, and that is our halftime score, 35-0. We'll take a timeout and get back and get some numbers from Mike as he has the official stats here in this ballgame. Again, at halftime, Clyde 35. Brookside nothing. You're listening to Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football on the BAS Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Tony Camilleri, CEO of the Fremont Federal Credit Union. We are proud to again sponsor high school sports on Eagle 99, 92.1, The Wolf, and 100.9 Coast Country. Fremont Federal Credit Union is committed to fostering, preserving, and cultivating a culture of diversity and inclusion. I believe it is crucially important that as a credit union, we have a commitment to serve others where the diversity of our members enriches us. Investing in our communities and our youth are what we're all about. Visit us at fremontfcu.com. Membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, it's Eagle 99 and 92 on the Wolf Sports Director Kyle Knight for Athletic Supply in downtown Fremont. When it comes to outfitting the sports staff here at the radio station, we go to Juan and Athletic Supply. Athletic Supply offers us affordable prices on shirts and pullovers and handles all the custom embroidery. No matter what your sport, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, or volleyball, you'll find the equipment and clothing you need to make you look good and play good. So get in the game at Athletic Supply in downtown Fremont.
Hello, it's Pete with Sunrise. Man, I love this time of year, but I also love heat when I want it. At Sunrise, we monitor our tanks via a satellite. Yes, that's right. We know exactly how much propane is in your tank. That means we know when to fill your tank back up before you are in any threat of running out. With Sunrise, you can rest assured you will have heat when you want it. So call Sunrise, get set up with your propane needs, and enjoy the season. Sunrise Cooperative. Success grows here.
No one gets to where they are at by themselves, so why not let the U.S. Air Force help you create your success story? With over 200 careers to explore, you'll find a job that suits your strengths. Whether you're interested in healthcare, maintaining aircraft, or discovering something completely new, you'll find a larger purpose serving your country. You'll also need all the technical training and educational support you need to succeed, all while earning college credits and pay increases with every promotion. Unlock a lifetime of opportunity with the Air Force. If you have any questions, please contact myself, Technical Sergeant Matthew Mills, at 419-604-6294 to find out more information.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
All right, welcome back. We're still in our halftime break. Quickly, let's go to Mike Martin and get some numbers. Mike, if you could.
All right, thanks, John. I really appreciate John and Evan Patenko doing these numbers for us. They are the official stats right now. Brookside only has 3 first downs. Clyde has 14. Rushing, Brookside has 11 yards rushing. Clyde has 109. Net yards passing, Brookside has 50. Clyde has 112. So Clyde pretty much, being able to do what they need to do either on the ground or in the air. So Brookside has a total of 61 yards. Clyde has a total of 221. One thing that's kind of surprising is the time of possession. Brookside had the ball for 12 minutes and 5 seconds, and Clyde had it 10 seconds less with 11 minutes and 55 seconds. Rushing for Brookside, Kenny Grobelsek had 9 attempts and 13 yards. Michael Gomes had 1 attempt for 1 yard. On the Clyde side, Michael Daniels had 14 attempts, 86 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jaden Cook had 1 attempt for 4 yards. Abe Morrison had 2 attempts, 25 yards, and both attempts were touchdowns. Passing, Jake Montgomery is 6 of 15, 2 interceptions, 50 yards. Kenny Grobasek has 4 attempts and no completions. Jaden Cook is 10 of 14, 0 interceptions, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. Abe Morrison has 1 that fell incomplete. Receiving, Kenny Grobasek had 3 catches, 26 yards. Matthew O'Donnell had 2 catches for 10 yards. Carson Nail had 1 for 14. For Clyde, Will Lozier had 4 catches, 25 yards. Brady Wilson had 3 catches, 41 yards, and 1 touchdown. Griffin also had 2 catches, 41 yards, 1 touchdown. Andrew Cabo had 1 catch for 5 yards. And looking at punting, Clyde has not punted the ball yet. Matthew O'Donnell has been, doing a real nice job of punting the ball. His average is 42 yards on 2 punts.
Right, thanks so much, Mike. Let's go right down to Brad Bannister on the sideline, brought to you by Frickers. Brad, still beautiful night here tonight, isn't it?
Oh, the winds are like non-existent right now. So you're looking at 70, 75 degrees, perfect weather, short sleeve shirts, just unbelievable for a first round playoff game. Mike, real quick, you're like a mathematical savant up there with those numbers and the subtraction you got going on in your head with the time of possession. Very impressive, Mike Martin.
Well, this isn't his first rodeo, just so that you know. And
well, we can tell.
And of course,
coming from a math teacher, that makes me feel very good. I appreciate that, Brad.
Well, Brookside, I'm sure, went into halftime here and want to know how in the world these guys lost 3 games. That's probably what they're talking about in that locker room.
Of course, looking at the field right now, again, the flags are just still as can be. There's a big bonfire off to the right-hand side. We got a big motorhome group here on what I would say be the west side. Those guys are listening to us. They should honk their horn and turn their lights on to know they're paying attention. And it has been all Clyde so far. And the Flyers are looking at a situation where they are going to have a running clock. So this second half is going to move very quickly. And my guess would be that we're probably going to see some reps to Abe Morrison at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I definitely suspect that as well. And, we're going to see a lot of the younger guys be able to get some playing time tonight, which is great. So you can kind of rest the main people up for next week. And
that'll be if the Flyers hold on and win, they'll be at Wauseon. So, again, halftime scores. Third quarter score, Perkins and Port Clinton still at 14. In the third quarter, Oak Harbor all over Chippewa, 55-3. This Clyde game, obviously, you've got the score here of 35-0. And this just froze on us, so we'll wait for it behaves itself to give us the rest of the scores. Brookside will be kicking off the Clyde. Clyde will get the ball moving right to left to start the second half of play. Right now they're kind of talking at midfield. Ontario all over Vermilion, 41-0 at half. Western Reserve by 20 in the third quarter over Margaretta, 27-7. Edison now pulls on top of Clear Fork in the third quarter at 21-14. So that's a close one here. And we're trying to get all these SBC schools advanced and as many Three River Athletic as we can. The schools that we covered. And there's the kickoff. Hits high, end over end. Fielded at the 2, to the 5, to the 10, the middle of the field to the 15, cut up to the 20. And a spin and turn, and it's going to be a return up to the almost a 30-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 28. So it's going to be about a 24-yard return, and Clyde will have it 1st and 10.
Yeah, that was a nice deep kickoff. It kind of basically outkicked his coverage.
He did. But they did a good job to contain him. And here we go. Running clock. Port Clinton now goes on top of Perkins to start the third quarter, 21-14. Both Division IV schools. Port Clinton in the Bay, Perkins in the Lake. You got to remember, there's Division IV teams in the Lake and the Bay Division. There's a little crossover there in the SBC. Clyde moving 3 receivers to the near side, one on the far side. Cook back to throw. Quick pass is going to be caught out here to Lozier. Lozier spins to the outside, cuts back to the middle, and he'll get hit, but he'll pick up an extra 2 yards. He'll get across the 35 to about the 37. So it's going to be a pickup of, we're going to say, almost 9 on that pass play. They've been working on that pass play a lot here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, the receivers out there doing a pretty nice job of stalk blocking. Gobelsek was out there to slow him down a little bit, as well as Carson Nail.
Two receivers to each side. Daniels just to the right of Jaden Cook. Cook has gone the whole way. Hand off Daniels. Boy, he gets a nice hole off left tackle, spins up the middle of the field, and gets across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Actually, the 44-yard line, pickup of 7, and the Flyers move the chains.
Golbasek again on that tackle. Getting a lot of reps and a lot of plays, and it's going to wear on him when it gets a little bit farther into this quarter.
Well, Kenny Grobelsack has been the key player on both sides of the ball. You had said that early in our pregame, and that's proven to be true. Clyde now 3 receivers of the far side, 1 to the near. And they have not shown the double wing tonight at all, Mike. Now they have 2 on each side. Handoff. Daniels, right tackle, up the middle of the field, puts his head down. He picks up another 10, almost 11. The Clyde offensive line right now is devastating the defensive line of the Brookside Cardinals. Let's go right down to Brad Bannister.
Yeah, just picking right up where Clyde left off, just dominating the front, pushing Brookside off the ball, making nice holes for Mike Daniels to run through.
Again, running clock. We are at 9:20 here in the third quarter of play. So the Clyde offense having a good night, but really it's the Clyde defense that has played spectacular so far. Back to throw Cook. He's looking. He's going to flare it. Oh, he missed him. He had Robbie Green say a little tight end drag across the middle. Coach Grobelsack was on coverage, and he was going to get to meet Robbie in the flat, but the ball was overthrown. They've used that before, Mike.
Yes, and that's something that, they've been very successful with. It looks like Brookside has put a few different players on the defensive line. They got Ryan Kelly out there now. It was 5'8", 190.
All right, I used to know 190, 5'8". Here we go. 3 receivers of the far side, 1 to the near. Second down and 10. Handoff to Daniels. He spins his way up the middle of the field. He gets by another defender. He puts his head down, and he'll get another first down. I tell you what, Michael Daniels is a force to be reckoned with here tonight. He just powered his way all the way through the defense on the left side, cut to the outside, gets it into the 34. Another first down for Clyde.
And another tackle by Grobelsack.
Tell you what, that kid has earned his reputation.
It's all over the field tonight, like you said, both sides of the ball.
A great ball player. Just unfortunately for Brookside, they don't have enough depth to go along with him. 7:54 and counting. A little bit of a hurry up here. 2 receivers to each side. Cook says, okay, get ready. Let's go. Let's take the snap. There he goes. He hands off again. And Daniels up the middle. This time he gets hit, and he'll pick up 1. This is one of the few times that Daniels didn't pick up at least 3 or 4. And it'll be down to the 33, second down, and, well, they'll give him 2 on that.
Yeah, he ran into Josh Sarvis, who is 6 foot 230, and he just kind of went down on his knees and did not get pushed back to make that tackle.
Second down, and we'll call it 8, moving right to left. Here comes Lozier in motion from the left to the right slot. Cook back, looking to throw, low snap. He's stepping, looking. He's going to fall out of the pocket. He's rolling to this side, and he's going to run with the football, and he's just going to run out of bounds. And Cook is pretty fleet of foot, and he gets all the way down to the 21. It'll be a first down, Clyde.
Yeah, I was looking at Coach Greenslade down there. He is just waving him to get to the sideline. It's like, do not go up there and take a hit.
So it's a pickup of 11, but he ran about 30 yards on that one because he reversed his field, ran all the way across the field, and picked up the 11 yards for the first down.
I think I heard Coach Fretz, too. He's over here at this back gate. I think he's yelling to get out of bounds as well.
No.
You got the first. Just get out of bounds.
Of course, Cook is 2-guard on his basketball team. Daniels, middle of the field, gets off a block, head down the middle, puts his goal. 5, 7 yards. He gets almost 9. And they'll spot him at the 13. So we'll say it's a pickup of 8, second down and 2. And the Flyers offense just right now running at will against the Brookside Cardinals. Come in here with 1 win on the season. And right now they have their hands full with the defending Division IV state champions.
Yeah, and that time Michaels did a nice job of just going up into the line, nothing there, and just giving it to the outside and getting upfield.
Well, Clyde running the ball and running clock. We're in the 5-minute mark here of the third quarter already. Back to throw. Looking. There's going to be a lob in the end zone. It's going to be Lozier, touchdown. Oh, Lozier put a great fake on the defender. Let's go right down to Brad Bannister.
Oh, what a beautiful pass. I think this is why Jaden Cook's in the game with the score the way it is for him to work on that pass, and passes like that beautifully over the top, just dropped it right into Lozier as he got behind the defense in the end zone.
That was a great route by Lozier. He lost the defender at about the 6 and spun to the outside and got the pass, and now it'll be Sidney Holman in for the extra point. So Clyde goes 72 yards in 9 plays at the 5:41 mark. Holman for the extra point. She's been good on him tonight. Got a lot of actions. High snap, the kick down, up, and it is good. We'll take a timeout here in Clyde. It's now Clyde 42, Brookside nothing. We'll be back after this on the BAS Sports Network.
To our Stein Hospice nurses, you are the educators, communicators, patient advocates, and decision makers. You are the hand holders, the 3 a.m. voice of comfort and reason. You become the around-the-clock best friend, the calming voice, the familiar face of compassion. You are the calming presence of Stein Hospice to all of our patients and families. To many, you are guardian angels. To us, you are the glue that holds our teams together, and we thank you.
Hi, I'm Tony Camilleri, CEO of the Fremont Federal Credit Union. We are proud to again sponsor high school sports on Eagle 99, 92.1, The Wolf, and 100.9 Coast Country. Stop into any of our convenient offices or visit us online at fremontfcu.com to check out the credit union difference. We offer local decision-making on loans, making the process fast and easy for our members. Investing in our communities and our youth are what we're all about. Visit us at fremontfcu.com. Membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
Short kickoff by the Flyers. It's picked up and returned to the 37-yard line, and Brookside will get the ball for the first time in the second half. Brad Bannister on the sideline. Brad, Clyde just methodically straight down the field for that score.
Yeah, that's just pure execution by Clyde, whether it be blocking, running routes, throwing the nice pass, just a nice overall drive by the Clyde Fliers.
No penalties. Clean.
No penalties, clean,
efficient,
crisp.
ran clock. Clyde showing blitz. And Grobosek's got the football, and he's going to get thrown for a loss. Grobosek with the ball. Logan Homler in on the tackle for Clyde.
Logan Homer and Remington Norman also there to make that stop. And they have not had an answer for that Clyde defensive line at all tonight. And those guys have been in their backfield all night, whether it's run or pass.
Well, all intents and purposes, unless there's a major flat tire here on the field, it looks like Clyde will advance to take on Wauseon next week. We'll have to start getting in and figuring out about the Wauseon Indians. They are always good.
I think that's the team that knocked Bellevue out last year. Wauseon.
It is. Looking to throw. Grobosek's being pressured. He's just got to throw it out here and incomplete and right through the hands of Coach Ryan Greenslade. And it'll be incomplete. It'll make a third down, and we'll call it about 13.
Now, Ryan Greenslade, he did catch a couple touchdown passes when I was coaching, though. So he does have some hands. Just not
anymore.
Well, they might have turned to stone a little bit.
Don't let him know that, big guy. We love you. So it's going to be third down and 13 for Brookside. They have played everything they can in the playbook tonight, Mikey. Just other than a couple passes that they had down the center of the seam, they really have not been able to maintain a lot. Have never been in the red zone here tonight. Grobosek looking to roll. They're going to reverse it to the outside. And Montgomery on the outside, he's going to have the first down, and he'll get dropped. Nice little trick play. Well, I guess they had one more play in the playbook we didn't know about, and they get a first down up to the 48-yard line. Pick up a 14.
Yeah, you're right, John. That was a nice play of bringing it back against the grain. Jaden Johnson was out there to make that tackle, but they had the whole Clyde defense pursuing to the left and brought it back, and was able to get a nice gain, and that will be a number 4 first down for them tonight.
All right, so they get the fourth first down, 2:49. This third quarter is flying by. Montgomery looking for the snap. No, it's going to be another reverse. They're going to try a reverse pass this time, and I tell you what, that good thing it was outside the tackle. Montgomery had no chance that time. Being flagged down, and right now let's go down to Brad Bannister. Brad, it looks like the Flyers defense is as tight as they can be against these plays, except for the one trick reverse. They read that perfectly, and they're going to be a grounding there. I'm going to call it grounding. Yeah, intentional grounding, lost it down.
John, whoever's taking a snap, John, for Brookside is basically just taking the ball, running, and trying to throw the ball to whoever they can see in the vicinity because they just have no time to make any kind of decisions.
At that time, they didn't have anybody that he could see except for the 40-yard line.
They're running for their life. That's the first penalty of the second half. That takes the ball back to the 32. That's a loss of 16 and a loss of down.
We got to give Logan Holmler the credit for that one.
1:41 to go here in the third. Again, running clock, and it is running at will. Now it's going to be Montgomery back at quarterback. Here comes the man in motion. He's going to go ahead and pitch it out here. And, oh, boy, what a nice open field tackle on the outside by the Flyers. That was for no gain.
That was Andrew Bauer came up and put a nice stick. It came all the way from his safety spot. And let me tell you, the quarterback, that time Montgomery, he just got rid of that as quick as he could.
He didn't care.
He didn't want any part of that. He just pitched that out there and said, here, you take it, because Bauer was coming like a heat missile and made a nice tackle.
Minute to go here in the third, 42-0. Your score, Clyde, on top. Brookside's going to send three receivers here to the near side. Again, in triangle formation. Montgomery looking for the ball. Nope. He's going to throw it out here. It's going to be almost intercepted. Oh, my. I tell you what, Dylan Overmeyer's going, I had a pick six. He just kind of took his eyes off at the last second. And it will be Clyde's ball. Turnover downs. So the one thing I want to address here is I was hoping with the involvement of how this season has gone, we haven't lost any games due to COVID. Everybody's behaving themselves, that we could have got more fans in at the game. But for Clyde, you got a big bonfire on the north side. You over here, you got our friends in the motorhome and everybody that's out there hanging out with them.
They're chanting out a little bit. They're waving to you, John.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you guys. And the fact of the matter is, those are Clyde fans. Now, they're going to come no matter what way they can. There's the punt. It's going to be end over end. It's going to be hit and bounce. It's going to be a Clyde bounce. And they're going to down that at the 35-yard line. And that's the end of the third quarter. Well, let's see what the Flyers do. We're going to the fourth quarter completely in command. It's Clyde 42-0. We'll be back after this on the BAS Sports Network.
Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about. Your local Erie agent is Welty Insurance Group. Get a quote at 419-334-4477 or visit weltyinsurance.com. Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
America's #1 tool store, Harbor Freight Tools, has a new store open near you. Visit our newest store in Fremont, off Route 53 next to the post office. Hurry in for unbeatable deals like a 32-piece screwdriver set for only $8, a cordless drill for only $20, a floor jack for only $80, and so much more. For over 43 years, Harbor Freight Tools has served more than 40 million customers as the destination for everything from power tools and compressors to jacks and generators. Shop Harbor Freight Tools in Fremont or visit harborfreight.com to find the location nearest you.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 the Wolf. 92-1 the Wolf. WOHF.
All right, this second half moving right along. We're in the fourth quarter. Clyde gets the ball first and 10 at their own 35. And Brad Bannister, it's one of those games where the Flyers got in command early and it never looked back right now. It's just the matter of this fourth quarter getting played out. They'll take on the Wauseon Indians next week. And Wauseon is always formidable. I think they took the Bellevue Redmen out, as you had said last year. We did that game. And we'll be taking another trip down Wauseon to follow Clyde Fliers. Oh. And there we've got all sorts of procedure going. I think we've got some new players in the ball game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Cameron Tuckerman got hit with the official's flag, landed right on his helmet.
Well, let's see, we got new players in there. We got Coach Schwoko, a sophomore, in their receiver. So you got pretty much your JV unit in there right now for Clyde. And I believe that's Abe Morrison at quarterback. And Abe Morrison kind of growing up right before us right now. He's a pretty good-sized kid. He's 6'2", 184. Of quite an athlete. 3 receivers to the far side, and we'll have to see who that running back is next to him. We'll go to Brad Bannister. They're going to flare it out here. It's going to be caught on the flat and getting the ball and picking up the penalty yardage at least. Up to the sideline, looks like Trestle Webb.
John, he had Javier Plummer next to him.
Plummer.
So he's the
okay.
running back, yes.
All right. Thank you. Brad Bannister.
I really like how they got Abe Morrison in that first half, too, for some of those key runs. That's nice to get him out there.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Well, it was there. The quarterback run was there, and they obviously didn't want to do that with Cook.
Oh, no. Cook's not running the ball
No.
unless he's going to run and slide. Or Morrison, hands up this time. Here's a cut to the outside, trying to get up the middle, and boy, getting hit and dropped kind of in a hurry that time.
Another
Plummer. Jay Plummer, the sophomore. He went down kind of easy.
Oh, Golbasek, though, again, on the tackle. I'm going to be kind of interested to see how many tackles Golbasek has for Brookside tonight.
Get the ball to the 38, third down and a long 7. 2 receivers to each side. Abe Morrison, the quarterback. And right now, a little anxious, Cameron Tuckerman. And that was a no-doubter.
No, hey, the official didn't hit him with the flag, though, this time. I mean, he was 5 yards down the field when the official threw the flag.
Little anxious.
I'll tell you what, he was going to clear that defense there in about 3 seconds. He'll be wide open.
It's third and 13 back to the 30. Oh, the 33-yard line. Yes, indeed. That's one of those ones on the tape the coach is going to look and not have to say anything, right?
That's pretty easy.
I've had that happen before. I know how it feels. It's not good. So in motion right now is going to be Cole Schwoko. And Morrison back. He's looking. Just a little stop pass pattern will be caught. And it will be Tuckerman with the catch. And I'll make it 4th down at the 40. So a pickup of about 7. Nice little possession pass, Mike. And they've got to work on that stuff. And we're going to have our first punt of the night by the Clyde Fliers. And it looks like Jaden Cook's coming in to do it.
You know, Jaden Cook, before he went out with his injury, he had about a 43-yard average on the season. He had a couple shankers, but his average is pretty good. And you're going to have Abe Morrison quick kick it.
Well, they are okay. So Morrison will step back. And again, it looked like there's motion by Clyde again. It's going to be end over end. It's going to go over Montgomery's head. And Clyde's just going to let it bounce, and it will bounce inside the 20. And they will down it at the 16-yard line. So first punt of the night, back to Brookside. And they'll get it at their 16. And right now, Mike, 8:31 to go. This one will be over before we know it. So the Clyde Fliers, they replace 18 to 22. They have obviously a very difficult schedule inside the SBC Lake. All the games they were in and lost were extremely close, except for the Norwalk game, which just kind of got out of control when their quarterback went down. But do you have a feeling like this team's just kind of getting a little more solid as the weeks go on?
I think that the offense is starting to gel, and they're getting better, but that defense is just solid. They're with the people that they have and the ones that are coming back, they're going to be solid, and they're going to be solid the rest of the way through, I'm sure.
Replaced 8 on defense. All right, here's the handoff by Brookside. It'll be for no gain. So Brad Bannister on the sideline. Looks like everybody here at Bishop Stadium fairly relaxed as we walk out this last 7.5 minutes of this ball game.
Yeah, not a lot of energy in the stadium, and they know it's over. And, Clyde put together a really impressive performance, even though they were, obviously a lot stronger across the board than Brookside. But they did a nice job executing for the most part tonight.
And again, Brookside out of Lorain County. And they took the long drive down here to take on the Flyers at Bishop Stadium, and one of the benefits of that seating, there's a flare pass caught outside. Boy, just getting drilled down. And the pass to the 15, 16, maybe a pickup of 1. Who was on the coverage there, Mike?
That looked like Will Lozier. Is that right, Brad? I can't really tell the number.
I can't. I don't think Will's in. I'm not sure who made that tackle.
Yeah, that's
over on the right side.
number 3.
Yeah, that would be Will Lozier.
Well, I tell you what, that was fundamentally as strong as a tackle as you're going to see from a defensive backfield. That guy caught it wide open, and he just flat out.
He read that and stepped right up into it. As soon as that ball was there, he was there to make the stop.
Good eyes, Mike.
Well, I'd say he's not as old as me. All right, so here we go, 42-0 with 6:47 to go. I got to tell you, though, with the Clyde jerseys, I wish they could switch
tough.
those up. It is hard to see the numbers.
Or else have an outline around
Right.
them so we could see it.
All right, here we go. We've got a timeout. We'll take our last time out of the ballgame. 6:40 to go. It's Clyde way on top. We'll be back after this.
Hi, I'm Tony Camilleri, CEO of the Fremont Federal Credit Union. We are proud to again sponsor high school sports on Eagle 99, 92.1, The Wolf, and 100.9 Coast Country. Fremont Federal Credit Union is committed to fostering, preserving, and cultivating a culture of diversity and inclusion. I believe it is crucially important that as a credit union, we have a commitment to serve others where the diversity of our members enriches us. Investing in our communities and our youth are what we're all about. Visit us at fremontfcu.com. Membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, it's Eagle 99 and 92 on the Wolf Sports Director Kyle Knight for Athletic Supply in downtown Fremont. When it comes to outfitting the sports staff here at the radio station, we go to Juan and Athletic Supply. Athletic Supply offers us affordable prices on shirts and pullovers and handles all the custom embroidery. No matter what your sport, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, or volleyball, you'll find the equipment and clothing you need to make you look good and play good. So get in the game at Athletic Supply in downtown Fremont.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
As we get back to play, Grobelsack gets the ball, rolls to his right, throws about a 15-yard pass play, complete up to the 32. Actually, it was a pass play of 18, Mike, and that time, very well done.
Yeah, Jay Plummer was just about a step behind on that, was able to get him out of bounds, but not until they got their fifth first down of the game.
Some updated scoring right now. Port Clinton over Perkins, 27-14. Oak Harbor 69-17 over the Chippewas. Vermilion losing 55-0. Western Reserve 34-7. Here's another pass play by Grobelsack, excuse me. And I tell you what, he still threw it pretty well. He's obviously the stronger quarterback of the two. And Clear Fork and Edison, boy, they're in a shootout right now, Mike, in the fourth quarter. 28-28 between those two squads. So keep an eye on that.
You know, and that is because those two were seated so closely.
Right.
And unlike, some of the matchups that we have where you've got a number 4 against a number 15, that's when you're going to have the outcomes like we're having here tonight.
All right. We're at the 5:02 mark of this ball game. Here comes man in motion. And they're going to go ahead and RPO in the middle. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he's going to get some yardage. He's going to get closer. First time we have a penalty out here at the 35-yard line. We'll go down to Brad Bannister with his eyes. Brad?
Yeah, he's signaling a hold over here on the left side of Brookside's line. Yep. You know who looks smart in all this right now? St. Joe. It's one of the teams that has decided to opt out of the playoffs. They actually didn't play. They scheduled, and do you think they got more good out of playing Hilltop than maybe joining the tournament, being a real low seed?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They got the win. And the other thing, too, is you got to remember, you only get 10 games a year guaranteed. You want to play as many games as you can to continue to develop. They're going to call that a defensive holding penalty.
Ooh.
You want to get as many reps as you can for your kids to develop them, right? So, yes, obviously, they want to schedule, and they'll probably play as many games as they can.
And Mike, what do you think about that? They decided not to go in the tournament. They go down, they schedule Hilltop. They win 41-0. I mean, how do you think that would be from a team perspective?
Well, I think that would be very beneficial, especially when you know that you're going to be a lower seed and you're going to have to play a higher seed, and the chances of you winning that game, I mean, you still always have a chance to win the game, but when you look at reality of things, when you could play someone that is more of your level that opted out as well, then that's just going to be a benefit for your team to move on in the next couple games, or if you're going to say that's the last one, for the last game of the season.
Would you rather win 41-0 or lose 71-0? That's your choice.
I don't think there's a question on that.
And there's a pass. Well, he caught that pass, but that was out of bounds. Tell you what, good hands out there on the receiving side. And again, that is Matthew O'Donnell, the senior, finishing up his high school career here, at least from a playoff perspective. We have another flag on the field, and this is what you hate to see. It's going to be a legal man downfield. So we're going to see some white and some yellow flags out there, Mike, and I tell you, it's been a beautiful night for football. We anticipated that Clyde probably had the upper hand, not knowing much about Brookside. Did not expect them to win in this fashion. but it is a progression for them. My question is, Clyde plays Wauseon next week. They get beat. Do they play any more games? Will anybody be willing to play them? You know, it's hard to find. If you're a higher seed and a little bit better team, I think it might be harder to find an opponent.
Yeah, and I'm not sure with some of the injuries that Clyde has right now if they're going to want to push it, but, you know, that's something that Coach Carter hopefully just keeps on winning.
1st and 15 at their own 48. There's a little counterplay to Montgomery. Montgomery's going to pick up some yardage. He'll get pretty good play all the way down to Clyde 42.
Now, I did hear something. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that Brookside has 3 games lined up already is what I was told. I don't know if that's true or not, but it kind of goes back to what you were saying, John, in that if you're a really, really low seed and you kind of know what might happen, maybe to prepare. But when you talked about Clyde, you know, after next week, you know, that I guarantee they're not planning past, you know, they're planning on playing.
Well, they're playing, let's see, they are playing Oberlin next week. Brookside is.
Yeah, so they were already planning this, yeah.
Division 6 school. All right, handoff, jet sweep to the outside. Nails with it. He's going to get some yards. He's going to get a first down, and he will across the Clyde 35. So Clyde obviously trying to keep them out of the end zone, but they've got a lot of secondary players on the defensive side. So you think about this. If you're, let's see, if you are Brookside and you're playing Oberlin, who's winless, Division 6, you know, that's a game for Oberlin to try and, you know, build up their program a little bit and to keep your, you know, keep building your program. Back to throw, Grobelsack. He's got, Montgomery in and out of his hands. He dropped it. Perfect pass by Grobelsack, and Montgomery had triple coverage and still almost brought it down.
Yeah, that time Cole Schwoko was there on the coverage. Also, they still have Will Lozier out there playing safety to try to take anything away deep. But that would have been one of the big plays. I mean, he had it in his hands when he came down and hit the ground. The ball kind of popped out.
1:02 to go in this one, and we're going to wrap this present. And the Clyde Fliers are going to advance to Wauseon next Saturday. We'll have that game for you. My belief is, and don't hold me to this, but my belief is the Bellevue game will be on 92.1 The Wolf, and the Clyde Wauseon game will be on Eagle 99. So we'll see, because they both play, and they both will be covered. All right, so 1:02 to go. Clyde 42-0. Timeout by Brookside. So, you know, it's been one of those odd years, and it's writing its own story, Mike Martin, on how this is all going to play out for everybody.
Yeah, and, you know, one thing that Clyde, when we were talking about, do you get in the playoffs, do you just schedule games? Well, last year when Clyde was 6-4 and went and ran the table, I guarantee Coach Carter's got these kids believing that they can have the same opportunity this year.
Well, they've grown. They're not they're not a young team anymore. Back to throw. Grobelsack, he's going to throw it out here. It's going to be caught. Boy, Montgomery went right up and caught that at the top of the ball right there. Brad Bannister, great hands on Montgomery. I tell you what, that's a little bit better matchup for them.
Oh, yeah, that was a great catch, great pass. The catch, he bobbled it, but kind of garnered it in and got control of it before he went out of bounds. So, yeah, it's a great play.
3rd down and 2. The ball spotted at the 21. Grobelsack back to throw. He's going to throw it again. It's going to be hit. And I tell you what, what a clean hit, but a solid hit. And it was by Will Lozier, I believe, trying to help the receiver get up. And I'm going to tell you what, number 31, which is Ben Montgomery, the freshman, is never going to forget that hit he just took from Lozier.
Nope, Lozier hit him solid.
And that's the ball game. So it's over. It's a shutout. The final, Clyde 42 and Brookside 0. We'll be back after this timeout on the BAS Sports Network.